Hey everyone, Dr. Suze here. I'm about to talk to you about one of our big projects in this class. We call this the Capstone Assessment. When you see these capstone assessments throughout our courses, if you're taking more child development classes, these are important projects that say, hey, this person has learned all the materials that are, all the content that is related to this big project. So we give you lots of little assignments, and they are to basically prepare you for one of these big projects. All right, so let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at. This is the Piaget Conservation Study. And remember that conservation is all about Piaget's pre-operational and concrete stages. So in pre-operational stage, Piaget says that children are not able to have centration yet, right? So they can't decentrate yet. So they're still in this centration stage. Centration, so Centration. Okay, centration. So what does that mean? Centration means that children can only center on one thing at a time. Okay, they can only center on one thing at a time, meaning they only have one perspective. And whose perspective do you think that is? Themselves, right? So when it comes to sharing, for example, they can't see the other person's feelings, and they don't have an ability to really see somebody else's perspective because they're centered only on one perspective at a time. Well, this actually goes for a lot of different things in their life. This has something to do with also the way that they see objects and the way that they see and interact with materials. So you're going to see this really great video, and you're going to be stunned by it because I offered this video of an actual child doing this study, and you're going to see that the answer is so obvious, but he can't see it because he's only in pre-operational stage. He can only center on one thing at a time. When children move into concrete stage, that's when they are able to decentrate, okay? Meaning DE, right? So what does that prefix mean? It means they stop. That means they stop centering on one thing and they're able to see perspective. Okay. So what you're going to be doing in this conservation study is you're going to look at two children, and you're actually going to do this study with a young child, preschool age, and you're going to try to find a child that is maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years old. And you're going to do a study with them. And it's really, really important that you do the reading for this assignment because you want to make sure you understand the difference between the pre-operational and concrete stages, right? So remember that concrete operations happens between the ages of pretty much 6 and 11 for some kids. And then pre-operational stage is preschool, right? This is a preschool video. You'll get a chance to see this little child doing these activities. So the first thing you're going to do in this activity is you're going to find two kids. You want to get a preschool child, maybe 3 or 4 years old, and then you want to get a child that is like 7 or 8 years old. Okay. You're going to gather a bunch of these materials. You're going to see these materials in this video above. Okay, so it won't be hard for you to reenact what these objects look like. So you're going to grab these materials for each one of these types of conservation assessments. Okay, so it tells you what materials you need. It tells you the task you're going to do. And then you're going to see that there are key concepts. This might sound a little confusing right now, but pause this video and go watch this video. And then if you need to, watch my video again, okay? But I promise you it's gonna all make sense. And then once you've watched this video with this child, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is gonna be so much fun, okay? So again, make sure you do this reading. You're gonna gather these materials that you're gonna need, and you wanna gather them all ahead of time. You don't wanna be stuck trying to gather and pause with the child. You want all these materials way ahead of time. You're going to find these two children. You'll need two of them. And then the day of the study, you're going to make sure you review the video that I provided you in this assignment, because you will be speaking to the child with the exact same script. So you want to be able to ask these specific questions to the child, but you don't want to hint the answers. You'll see it in the video. I promise it's not going to be hard. Um, and then you're going to be doing these activities with the child. If by any chance the child decides to walk away and they don't want to do it, go ahead and take a pause. It's okay. If that child does not want to do it at all, you do not get to force that child to do it. You're going to have to find another kid. Okay. But hopefully, for the most part, most people find two kids and they that want to do it. You want to assess these two children at different times. You don't want to be doing it at the same time. So invite the 4-year-old, and then on a different day, invite the 7-year-old. Does that make sense? Lastly, you're going to submit. If you can, try to see if you can get someone to take a picture or set up a video, maybe of your phone, doing the experiment, anything like that, that you can be able to try to capture, at least at minimum, pictures of your materials, right? And then you're going to discuss with your notes what happened with child A, what happened with child B. Okay. And then remember that you're going to provide those notes in an objective way. So you'll see here it says, providing it with your objective notes, your opinion is at the end. Objectivity, being objective is facts. Okay. Subjectivity, that's at the end. That's your opinion. So facts only at the beginning. What happened with this child? What were they able to do? How were they able to be successful for their developmental time? Remember, when you're talking about that preschool age, you're not saying they can't do it. You're just telling me what they could do. Okay. We want to avoid saying children in preschool can't do something, because we already know that they can't do it. But tell us what they could do. Tell us what they were able to accomplish. Remember, that's their developmental level. So it's not wrong. It's just where they are. Okay. Reflect on the experience, tell us what you learned, discuss your observations, your experience, right? Reference your readings. Remember, cite your work, not just at the end with a reference, but within the assignment itself. Okay. Um, and then at the end, reflect on the project. Remember to do all of these parts. Often students do one piece and then they forget half the rest of the assignment. So make sure you hit. And as always, I always tell you, how is this assignment going to prepare you for your profession? Again, never wasting your time. All right. I think you're going to enjoy this, but I'm here. This is a big project. If you have additional questions, please feel free to find me. If you don't have a child and you don't know anybody with kids, my suggestion is to write some of the kids, write some of your peers in this class. You can always find me as well, and I can try to help you find a child, but I can't help, 300 college students find children. Talk to cousins. This is a good time to interact with, family members that you haven't seen for a little while. Try to spend some time and interact with that game. Okay. Make sure you spend a little time with the child playing one of their games first, so that that way they feel comfortable getting into your activity. All right. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Have a great time, and you're going to be surprised to see the results. Have a great week.